What's up, Knicks fans? We are so excited to announce that this summer, Fanatics Fest is returning to New York City, taking over the Javits Center from Thursday, July 16th to Sunday, July 19th. Meet your favorite athletes from every major league, including current New York Knicks like Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Knicks legend Patrick Ewing. Catch live podcasts and panels featuring some of the biggest names in sports while experiencing interactive activations from top leagues and brands. You can grab exclusive merch and discover one-of-a-kind memorabilia from sports and entertainment. Buy, sell, and trade collectibles with hundreds of top dealers. Connect with fans around the world who share your passion for sports. Tickets are on sale now at fanaticsfest.com. And when you use promo code KnicksFilm10 at checkout, you'll get 10% off your purchase. It's an extra day of the world's #1 sports fan festival coming together under one roof, and you don't want to miss it.
Welcome to another edition of the Knicks Film School Podcast. It is your boy, Jonathan Macri, here with you and with someone who is, I get to call him my colleague because they keep asking me back to do these spots on SNY for some reason. He is the best in the business. It is his time of year. And most importantly, he never puts me over we. It's Ian Begley.
That's good. I like that one.
You like it?
Good.
I thought so. I thought you'd appreciate it because it's so true. You are the ultimate team player, which is why in the busiest time of the year, you were kind enough on kind of late notice. But I realized I'm like, shoot, I should probably get Ian on before the deadline and not wait until, I don't know, next Thursday at like 2:00. So here you are. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Always happy to be on here with you, talking Knicks, like everybody else, digging out of the storm, and here we are.
I spent about an hour and a half digging out this morning, but no one cares about that. We're here to talk about the Knicks, and I figure I only have you for a limited time, so I'm going to keep you here, and then I'll stay on afterwards to BS with anybody who wants to hang out with me, although I don't know why anybody would want to hang out with me when they can hang out with us. So I have 5 questions. And we're going to go through. I'm just going to ask these questions one at a time. I've allotted about 3 minutes per, so a little bit longer than we get for when we get questions or when you get questions for SNY purposes. So it'll give you a little bit more time to dig in. So first question: are you ready, Mr. Begley?
For right now, or in a general sense, for the afterlife, or what am I? I just want to know how to answer.
What animal would you come back as if you could pick any animal?
I love that.
That's not the first question, by the way.
Yeah, no, I would come back as I guess golden retriever. I love people. I love being silly and jumping around and having a smile on my face. So I would go golden retriever.
I would come back as a walrus so I could know what it is like to be Mark Berman. No, I'm kidding. I love Mark.
Oh, jeez, Mark. Mark, I love you.
Can I come back as Berman? Is that allowed? If Berman's still here, could there be 2 Bermans?
There should be 2 Bermans. I miss them.
There should be dozens of Bermans. The world would be a better place.
Yeah.
First question for real. So we're gonna do this on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 being like absolutely floored and 1 being not surprised in the least. How surprised would you be or shocked would you be if the Knicks traded a current starter before the deadline?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we're talking about essentially 2 guys. I would put that at 6.5 because 10. Wait, 10 is super shocked and
super
1 is
shocked.
not shocked.
Yeah.
10 is super shocked. Okay. Yeah. I'll go 6.5 because I don't think they want to do it. I think they want this group to be together. I think they, for a long time, have believed in this group, and I think the only reason I put it at a 6.5 is because I don't like the stuff happened in Milwaukee with Giannis and the way he's talking after games and things like that. Just smells to me like they're closer to that end point than I thought they would be coming into the deadline. So there's that. And then there is the idea that Knicks have to win a championship or have to get to the finals this year. And so no matter how much you want to believe in your group, if you are not showing yourselves to be championship, contenders, I think you have to consider that kind of move. And I just think between the potential availability of Giannis and other big name players, but Giannis first and foremost, and the idea that the edict is to reach the finals, that's why I would put it at a 6.5, because it should be higher, right? It should be, oh my God, no way would they ever move one of these guys. Like, they're locked into this group, and this group is coming back off of a Eastern Conference championship run. Of course they're going to stick together. I don't see it as that solid at the moment because of the factors we talked about.
Very fair, which I'm happy you brought up Giannis, because that's going to transition very nicely to question number 2, which is, how much do you think that even, let's assume Giannis does not get traded before the deadline and he stays in Milwaukee. How much do you think them preparing to potentially make a move for Giannis this summer, or the Giannis landscape generally, will impact what they either do or don't do ahead of this deadline?
I think it certainly would. I mean, because you have a player who has said that he wants to come here. And because of that, and because of the uncertainty about how things are going to go for you this year after the trade deadline in the playoffs, I think you have to have enough, what you feel is enough left over to make a strong offer. I think it would be foolish to not do that. And so, yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. Are we doing scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, you can, So
I would say I would be shocked, like a 9.5, if they did not do that. And maybe they get word somehow that Giannis is not possible. I know Miami, until further notice, they're going to be right there for Giannis. So maybe they think that it's too much of a pipe dream. But based on where things sit at the current moment, I think you have to operate with that in mind in the bigger picture.
I would hope that they are operating with that in mind. Absolutely. Okay. Question number 3, again, coming, or thinking about this summer and how things that, lie ahead could potentially impact what they're doing. How shocked would you be if the Mitch and or Deuce's impending contract situations came into play in this deadline? So, for instance, if they did something, that was, tied to the fact that maybe they didn't know if they were going to be able to sign Mitch, or they were worried, or trying to find his replacement, would something like that totally floor you, or would it not surprise you at all?
Yeah, I think just based on everything that we've seen, it just wouldn't make a lot of sense to me for them to make a move. I know you're not saying purely based on the future contract situations of either of those players, but with that playing being a driving factor in a move, and so I guess I would put it at a 7.5, 8, and I think that way because these two players in particular have proved when healthy that they are so important to what you are trying to do, what you can do, and so I don't think in my mind, you don't let what might happen in the summer what in McBride's case, what might happen the following summer, override the idea that these two guys are so important. They've shown themselves to be so important to what you're doing right now and what your goals are. And so I think short-term thinking has to rule the day there. If the goal is to reach the finals, win a championship, these two guys have been imperative to how you've gotten here and where you want to go. And so that's why I would put it there. Before we get to the next one, I don't want to finish up without saying I think you've done a fantastic job, man, on SNY. Great work.
Oh.
Love having you on there, seeing you on there. So keep up the good work. And yeah, I am happy to call you a colleague too.
That's fair. Look at that. It's making my day here on a Monday, snowy Monday. I knew the good karma was going to come after I spent an hour and a half shoveling earlier today. All right.
Nice.
You're just buttering me up because I got the hard-hitting questions coming your way. This one's actually a pretty easy one. How shocked would you be if they did not make a trade? 1 to 10.
Yeah, I'm going. I would say 8, only because the Yabusele thing. I mean, it's proven to not be a good fit. It would be, I think, in certainly the players' best interest to be in a different environment. And so I just think that no matter what, they're headed for a divorce. I would be surprised if Yabusele was on this roster at the buzzer for this trade deadline, and what that deal looks like. We'll see. We'll find out. But I just think you're going to get to that point. I'd be really surprised if you didn't get to that point with Yabusele. And keeping an eye on San Antonio. You got Victor Wembanyama there, who I believe is a fan of Yabusele's for the national team. New Orleans is going to be there because of, in my mind, you're talking about Jose Alvarado, who is everything that I have heard has been on the Knicks radar. I don't think he's fallen off the Knicks radar. And so those are two teams I'm looking at, but it could be, I mean, I know that a number of teams the Knicks have talked to about potential Yabusele deal. So I think the only thing that would hold it up would be the player option for next year, but I still just think that at the end of this thing, he will be elsewhere.
Can I ask? I'm going to break my rule. Can I ask a fourth and a half question?
Please.
Do you, if you had to, again, shocked, not shocked, do you think the Washington pick will go out before this deadline, perhaps as a way to entice a team to give them something back for taking on the aforementioned player option?
I don't think that, just based on how they've done business, I think they would hold that asset for a different conversation.
Really?
I don't think,
okay.
Yeah, because even if that Washington pick doesn't convey, you're getting 2 seconds, and you're getting 2 seconds at what should be very high in the second round. And we've seen, John, the value of those. So I don't think that's something where you just attach it in this particular instance to get somebody out of here. I think you'd probably sit on your hands and keep Yabusele around rather than including that on in a deal like that, because you don't have to trade him. I just think that's the way it's going to go. So I don't think I would be. Put me at a 9.5 if that Washington pick was included in a Yabusele deal, with the purpose of sweetening the pot to send him elsewhere.
This is why you're the best. That's great stuff. And then last but not least, I was trying to think of the right way that I wanted to phrase this question, because when Karl Anthony Towns is involved, there's many ways you could phrase things. Perhaps some that I wish I could have back that have been uttered on this channel over the months and years. So I'll phrase
your passion shining through.
You know what? It's those moments, because there are times where I'm like, man, how deep is my, like, am I still like a truly passionate fan? And then something will happen. I'll be like, yeah, it's still there.
It's still in there. Yeah,
it's in there. How much of a priority is it within the organization? And I mean, coaching staff, other players, I guess front office, although I don't know how much they could do at this point, to get Karl to get Carl right, because I don't think I'm speaking out of turn by saying I don't think he's been right for most of this year, or to get him in a place where he's feeling good and is the productive player that we've seen before, and then I think we know he can be.
Well, I don't have strong insight on this particular question just because I haven't poked around on it, and so I don't want to misrepresent anything. But I think that the obvious answer is if you get past the deadline and Carl's on your team, that has to be first and foremost. Getting him in a situation where he can succeed, and so I would only assume that was a top priority right now for the Knicks, and I think that there is frustration sometimes, and it's easy for anyone with two eyes to see why that might be frustration. From the teammates, coaching staff, from that perspective, just with how things have gone sometimes with Towns this year. But I think it's important to add that just for a little context. But if he's still here after the deadline, that has to be first and foremost. And as we sit here today, if you're a coach or you're a teammate, you have to operate that way, with that being your top priority, because you don't know of anything else. You don't know if he's going to be moved or not moved. So while he's here, that has to be your top priority. I don't mean to kind of duck the question, but
you're not.
I think that's kind of how I would see it. And again, I don't have specific intel, so to speak, on how they see it, other than what I mentioned with the frustration.
That makes perfect sense. The more interesting part is just hearing you say repeatedly, if he's here past the deadline, which is still, even with all the stuff that has come out the last few weeks, it still is a little jarring, I guess, to hear. But it is what it is, right?
If we're just talking hypotheticals, I mean, we talked about it before, like just the idea that I don't think anything is fully settled in Milwaukee. I don't. Yep. And because that's still the case, then you have to think that, number 32, there's a certain percentage chance that he wouldn't be here past the deadline. And maybe there's a non-Giannis deal. Thank you, honey. Maybe there's a non-Giannis deal that makes sense. But that's why I keep saying if, and I don't mean to fan any flames. I'm not trying to play with anybody's emotions. I'm just saying logically, that's where I go based on all the factors at play.
Ian Begley, you are a giant among men. Not only because you're tall, which you are, but you're best.
I'm 6 flat.
Listen, man. The number of platforms I'd have to put on the bottom of my shoes to be 6 flat. Oh my goodness gracious!
How tall are you?
Don't it? I'm like 5'6.5". You've seen me. I'm not. Right. I'm a pipsqueak.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's been plenty of accomplished athletes at 5'6.5". So don't sell yourself short.
Spud Webb was like 5'7", 5'8".
I thought he was shorter than you, but maybe not.
I thought. Yeah, I got him right up here on my dunk contest poster. All right, I'm keeping you. Ian, you're the best. Anything you want to plug, promote before you get out of here?
Just the next time you're appearing on Honda Sports Night, I would like to plug that. I don't know when it's going to be, but I'm plugging
more importantly, put back on.
Yeah. So we're doing. I'm doing something with Yossi Goslin, a cap expert. We're doing something that's. Yeah, he is awesome. We're just going to look at a few hypothetical trades, how they might work from a Knicks perspective, from the other team's perspective. So that's going to be this week. It'll be out sometime this week. And then we'll have 3 trade deadline shows the week of the deadline, 2 days before, 1 day before, and then the day of at the buzzer. And I hope, are lucky enough to have John with us for one of those, because we're going to have a good time.
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I should know when I'm coming on. It's one of Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll be promoted. But here's the thing. If you're watching this, you should be watching all of those shows, because you're going to get some knowledge dropped on your head, and it's going to be the absolute latest. Ian is great about, he gives you a little bit every time he pops on. He's like a conveyor belt. It's just little bits of information each time. He knows right? It's a little bit, one bit at a time. It's great.
Oh man, a conveyor belt. I'll take that nickname.
That's your new nickname, the conveyor belt. They were trying to come up with a segment, the segment name for me when I go on the sports night, like Mac Attack or Mac something or other. I'm like, there's nothing. It's nothing good.
Mac Attack. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like that. John's Gems.
Well, that was my DJ nickname, Johnny Jams, back in the day.
You just opened up a whole.
We don't have time for this. But you gotta go. You gotta do stuff. You gotta do stuff. Ian, you're the best. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Talk to you soon. Great to be with you.
Be well, brother. Peace. All right. So now you're stuck with me. Now you can't leave. Actually, you can, but don't. Because I got a bunch of questions here in the chat that I have starred. I believe Andrew Claudio is in the studio as well, that he has been doing some Oh my goodness gracious.
He is here.
As I live and breathe.
Just here to help. It's okay. Shout out to Ian with a very interesting Cousin Sal impersonation when he first got on. For those who you don't watch, apparently, the Bill Simmons podcast on Netflix, where Cousin Sal was eating a whole ass pizza into the microphone on the show last night.
I'd love to eat a pizza into the microphone, because that would mean I'd be eating pizza.
I personally, as a sound, I don't know what else, the purist would just like people to recognize that when you say something and make a sound near a microphone, it's picked up. John,
can I just add something to that?
What?
It's not just during recording, because behind the scenes, for anybody watching, we'll be on here like sometimes we use StreamYard or Zoom or whatever, and I'll be munching away, and Andrew will mute my microphone because he finds the sound of my chewing or eating to be so offensive to his sensibilities. And I'm offended every time.
Enjoys that.
I don't really it's just eating.
No, it's eating into my ear. So there's a difference. I want you to have a full nourishment every single day, Jonathan Macri. I just don't want to hear it, okay? I just don't want to hear it. Can we go through some questions? I put a call out for questions in the chat.
I saw it. Thank you
for everybody, just to make sure that we got to a full 40 here. We start here with Thomas Jones. Macri, how did your Bitcoin coach change your life?
So, oh my God, what does a Bitcoin coach do?
I have no idea. You tell us.
Oh, because I have one, obviously. Man, I really I feel so, and when Ian, so a little behind the scenes, before we pressed record, Ian was like, I told Ian, like, because he's like, how are you doing? I'm like, actually not great, because my Twitter account got hacked. And he's like, oh no, you didn't do one of those fake vote for me for podcast host things. And I'm like, actually, yeah, I did.
Oh
because
no.
I had asked someone to come on Takedown, actually, to talk. I forget what team. And then that person, I got a DM from that person the next day saying, like, vote for me and something. I'm like, well, I just asked this person to come on the show. And then I started to go through the procedure of trying to log in to vote for them, because I was trying to be a nice person. And I think that's where I was had. For anybody who's listening to the audio version of this and not watching, Andrew's head is in his hands, as if all of the shame that he has felt towards me over the last 8 years from being a complete and utter buffoon when it comes to technology has now come to a head and is solidifying into one moment that you could see in his face at this exact moment.
I feel so bad. John.
And this is me, who never does any nice thing for anyone. And this is a reminder. Don't do nice things for anybody.
I would, well, I think everybody out there already knew that was spam.
It's funny. You're frozen, by the way, too.
Am I really? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no. Now you're unfrozen. Okay. No.
On my end, I look fine. So I guess I don't know what my internet's doing today, but I
froze you. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we have a cause and effect. We have a point of origin in this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten several of those DMs, I will just say. And I think a lot of people have noticed that. And okay, now we know.
Now we know. Knowing,
that's
I don't even know if knowing is half the battle.
Knowing might have just been the war, the whole war, not even half the battle, just the whole war.
Okay, continuing.
So now people know John is not offering a Lamborghini for Bitcoin advice. He was hacked, and we're working on getting it back. Shout out to some people in the tech world that are helping us. Yeah. So just full disclosure, you may see a new burner out there or a new Macri. I don't know if when you have the info, you can tell people what it might be.
Oh yeah, I gotta set that up. Yeah.
Listen, no embarrassment. This does happen. My old Twitter account got hacked too. I'm not even sure how, which is why I was like empathizing with you. Like, damn, John's built the following. He probably doesn't know how it happened. Come to find out, no, you know exactly how it happened.
Yeah, pretty sure I do.
Would you like to answer some questions about basketball?
I would love to answer
lovely
some questions
afternoon,
about
evening. Yeah, it's still afternoon. That's right.
2:18. Okay. Rob Clark, what's going on, Rob? Question for Macri: do we need a point guard? I mean, Ian just reminded you for the umpteenth time. It sure seems like the Knicks think they need a point guard. I don't know, man. I look at the roster and the way it's constructed and how you have your 5 starters. Let's assume for the purposes of this question that those 5 starters are still here after the deadline, and you have Deuce and you have Mitch, who, if he's healthy, which you need him healthy, right? You're talking about him playing 20 plus minutes a night, and Deuce, we all like the idea of him playing 25 to 30. I personally like the idea of Landry Shamet playing 25 to 30 minutes. And all of a sudden it's like, well, how many minutes is this theoretical backup point guard going to play? Is it 10? Is it 12? Now, look, if Jalen Brunson gets injured, you need this more. If maybe it's someone to try to get Cat going. So do we absolutely, let me put it this way, if they don't trade for Jose Alvarado, because obviously that's the guy that seems to be going after, but and the deadline passes and Alvarado's on a Knick, do I think it's like a terrible mismanagement by the front office? No, I don't. But all things being equal, could they use a steady hand that isn't Tyler Kolek to play, whether it's 12 minutes a night, 15 minutes a night, something along those lines? Yeah, I think it would be helpful. I think it would be helpful for them for sure.
Just to add on top of that, the thing Ian just said, you just asked him about getting Cat going. I think a lot of that has to do with getting another point guard in here that will prioritize him, or in your words, get him going. Another one from Rob Clark.
Would you accept LeBron if he wants to come? So this is what, the theoretical LeBron for Cat trade straight up?
I think so.
This is crazy, but I think the answer has to be no, because then you have one center that is playable and is Mitchell Robinson, and he can't play more than 25 minutes a night. And where else are you getting? I mean, I guess in this theoretical world, if you could trade LeBron for Cat straight up, and then what other I mean, could you? I don't know what you would then do. Would you trade? Would you have to trade Deuce to get us a decent set? I mean, I'm trying to think of what center they'd go out and get. I don't even know. There's no name that comes to mind of it'd have to be a cheap salary because you're not trying to trade anybody else from your core. And then if it's LeBron, it's just all your eggs in this one season's basket, right? Because then, man, I can't believe I'm saying this. I probably no. I don't think so.
Probably no. Also, but as far as what the likelihood of the front office doing it would be is, I mean, look, Ian said it. We know it. There is a mandate on this season, so that there's nothing more desperate or shortening of your window. If you find out there's some finality on Giannis and you want to pivot to LeBron, that would be the way this happens.
But I know you didn't mean to imply this. We know that there's not going to be fine if he doesn't get traded.
There's not. But to answer the question about LeBron, they're not going to go for LeBron unless there is some finality. Like Giannis is Giannis extension eligible now, or is it this summer? He's extended
this summer.
So they're not going to close that door until that door is closed. They're not going to close the door on getting Giannis until, you know what I'm trying to say. Like they're not going to open another door for LeBron until that door is closed on Giannis.
Well, okay, I'll give you one. And it's funny. I just looked at this guy the other day. By the way, just so you know, because you're gonna be mad if I don't tell you later. Your video is choppy, but your audio is fine, so it's fine.
Oh, thank you.
I was looking at defended field goal percentage against. So like the stat that shows the difference between when an average field goal percentage against and then when field goals are defended by a particular player. And there's and that's a wonky statistic because you'll see guys sometimes appear in there like, really, wow, that guy, teams are shooting that much better against that guy or worse against that guy. Marvin Bagley III, players shooting field goals against Marvin Bagley III when he's the individual defender are like 5% less or 5.2% less, whatever it was. I'm like, just again, that question made me think of like, all right, you do LeBron for Cat and then you send, freaking whatever, Dottier or Clarkson or something down to Washington, and you get Bagley as like a warm body to be a center along with Mitch and Huckporty. And if you need to go small sometimes with OG at the 5, which obviously Mike Brown just did, becomes easier to play small ball if you have a LeBron James on your roster. You know what? I might have to amend my answer. But then you wouldn't but then you wouldn't have a big salary to trade for Giannis in the summer because it's LeBron's expiring and it's not like you can accommodate that. So I would need to know what's going on with sorry, this is a very long-winded answer. I would need to know what's going on with Giannis.
It all circles back needing to know what's going on with Giannis. My picture cleared up, right?
Yes, it's better.
Yes. I turned my Wi-Fi off. Okay. Mr. BKG with a couple. By the way, I know you don't know this. Do you want to know what you just tweeted out?
I didn't actually tweet something out, right?
Nothing that'll get you in trouble. Everybody knows you're hacked, so nobody has applied this to you anymore. But yeah.
What?
Like it's not just apparently you're doing well in the crypto world right now.
I tweeted out another crypto thing.
Yes. So hold your hands up. Just hold your hands up right now. Just so everybody could see them. Clearly not tweeting. So John Macri did not tweet anything.
I mean, I had my phone a second ago, so maybe I don't know.
Oh, so maybe you did. So we can't fully exonerate you for this. But yeah, there was just a Macri tweet.
That's awesome.
While you're live.
That's great. This is really old. So everything's coming to Macri. Ben Kim Gervy asks, barring injury, how long of a window for competing for a championship does the Knicks front office believe they have? I mean, what is Jalen? 29, 30?
Jalen might be done. It just turned 29 or might still be 28. I'll look it up. I don't even think that applies to the answer. Jalen Brunson's 29. You're right. August 31st, 1996. Go watch on the WFAN YouTube channel on Craig Carton's first day back doing afternoons when he had the Knicks owner on the show. And he multiple times said...
but that's not the question. How long do they think their window is?
So I'm hearing that they have, or reading that they have. And I think the front office might think this team has a 3, maybe 4-year window, depending on Jalen Brunson's health. They may have this season after getting to the
front office
finals.
Yeah.
Right. The front office might have this season.
That's very true. I don't know. I think realistic, again, it's like when you get right down to it, like really, what is this team? And like what is their core? Is it just Jalen Brunson? Is it Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart? Is it Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, and OG Anunoby? Like, I don't know. Like in theory, they should be able to compete in the East for another several years. But who knows what Boston does? Before this deadline this summer, they can, they're a force to be reckoned with. Detroit, obviously, they can make a trade. Probably will make a trade at some point. So. Look, I think this is their best shot still. This or next year with Giannis or the next couple of years with Giannis. If they get Giannis, then the window's 2-3 years more than, after this year.
New York Forever has 2.
Can we trade Cat and McCall for Giannis, the reported deal where McCall goes to Portland? So it doesn't work quite like that under the court. Under the cap. I proposed a trade, not proposed, but the trade that I would envision happening, and I kind of said it to Jeremy on the live stream yesterday, is Giannis to New York, McCall to Portland, and this would be after the draft. So the Knicks have access to their 26 pick that they could trade, and also a future first that they could trade, along with 2 future distant swaps. So effectively, you're trading away 4 firsts. All of that goes to Milwaukee, along with either Carl goes there or Carl goes to a 4th team like Charlotte, who would then send expirings or to Milwaukee and an asset or 2 also into the kitty, again, to the Bucks. Knicks end up with, I would guess, Jeremy Grant, although speaking of Jeremy Cohen thought it would be more likely that it would be a couple of lesser salaries, but he's also thinking along the lines of if that trade happens now. I don't think that trade is going to happen now. I think it's going to be a summer trade. So I think it would be probably Jeremy Grant coming here, or Drew Holiday. They both make about the same as what McCall's salary is going to be next year. Did I miss anything? But Bob, who else would come back with Giannis? Because you'd have more outgoing salary. So you could do like Kuzma. Maybe Kuzma is the Giannis tax. He's coming back. Oh no, sorry, Jeremy Grant's incoming. Sorry. So they have to figure out something else to do with Kuzma. But that's the basic framework of the trade.
And we're looking at draft night as a most
draft
likely.
Night.
Yeah.
Because then you're well. So the trade would be agreed to on draft night. The trade could not be executed until the new league year because the Knicks would be making the pick for the pick would not be available to be traded until the new league year.
A common thing that happens too for those unaware of that happening. So, yeah. And one more from New York Forever.
Who would you rather have, Alvarado or Jeremy Sohan for Yabu and Pacome? Oh, Alvarado. Which you wouldn't even need to include Pacome because Alvarado only makes $4.5 million. Yabu is 5.5. Sohan is the hell is Sohan? I forget what Sohan is, but yeah, I'd rather have Alvarado. I know Alvarado can play 15 minutes for me and give me a good 15 minutes. Sohan, the shot is just so iffy. So you're talking about, well, can I play him with Mitch? Okay, maybe not. And then, all right, maybe I'm playing him with Cat, and he's like defending fives, but he's also not a great rim protector. I would take a flyer on Sohan if it's the best that I could do. If like that's the best that I could do. If it's just like Yabu for Sohan straight up, even if it's Pacome with him, I'd do that. But I'd like Alvarado.
Sohan makes 7, by the way.
That's what it was. You know why I was confused? Because his qualifying offer is like 8 and change. I don't think that the Knicks would pick up his qualifying offer for a variety of reasons. Oh, Izzy came to visit.
Hi, Izzy. Happy snow day.
This is the sign that I need to wrap up soon. Arrow Smithful, how do trades help stability of the team? I think it depends on who's traded. I do think that if they were to move off of Cat, personally, and I'm not breaking any news here. I'm kind of biased because I'm a little bit out on the Karl-Anthony Towns experience as of right now. I think it would help stability because it's someone that they don't have to worry about fitting in and accommodating and getting his touches and making sure he's happy and this and that. You could tell me moving another player out might help chemistry, but I would hope. I didn't ask this to Ian because again, this is like a little bit too, I think, in the weeds for a question. But I would have been curious. Or I would be curious to know how much the front office is worrying, and I would hope they're worrying a decent amount about how the locker room impact of any trade that they make, And sorry, one other thing on that. Don't sleep on them making a trade that gets them further under the second apron so they could then go sign that 15th player, and that 15th player is maybe PJ Tucker or a PJ Tucker-esque player whose purpose for being here would be to come in and it theoretically improve the locker room a little bit. Jay from East New York. What's going on, man? Question, is Jordan Clarkson okay with not getting steady minutes? I don't think so. Could he be packaged with Yabu to get back something? I would just assume if they can't find the trade for Jordan, I'm sure they would like to keep him around, because as a break in case of emergency guy, Jordan Clarkson, I think, could still be valuable. And I think he will still play here at times. But I don't know if Jordan Clarkson is going to want to be a guy who is, as a certain former head coach would say, situational. If he's really that unhappy with it, I mean, they could just buy him out or waive him and go sign.
We haven't heard anything about him being a problem because
I'm sorry. Right? I didn't mean to apply that. No, you cannot have another one. One is enough. All right.
Last one. I also haven't heard that Jordan Clarkson's been a problem. I don't think you were implying that.
Yeah, no.
Izzy, this last one's for you from Kevin Danishevsky. Give me your crypto secrets now, John.
Man, I'm trying to think of what knowledge do I have? I barely understand what cryptocurrency is.
I gotta be honest, me neither. I had like a day where I tried to figure it out and got far enough to be like, oh, this is fake. Got it. And then I just left the conversation.
That's about it.
It's basically like if you wanted to go to McDonald's with your Monopoly money and said, yes, but I assign a certain value to this, and therefore you should assign it too. And if you ever get McDonald's to bite on it, then you officially have traded something with your fake money.
Last thing, I'm seeing Kevin and Drew going back and forth in the chat on cats on-offs. I don't take this as gospel, but like there was definitely a time earlier this year where cats on-offs were either the best or like second best on the team, but they were very good. They were very positive, like +7, +8, something like that overall. Last I checked, they were more in like the +3 or +4 range. So I think they've been trending down.
I think everybody's on-offs have been trending down over the last 3 weeks is my little deep dive from Cleaning the Glass a couple days ago. I will say that but
it's on-off. It's not. It's like, so like in theory, on-off should like if there's a give, there has to be a take. Unless I'm completely misinterpreting that stat, and I've always misinterpreted that.
No. I think as the Knicks offense has been worse lately, their defense has also, I guess to your point, their defense has also been worse. So everything should be going down together. I'll just say this, the stat that I noticed earlier in the season that still holds water, but I don't care, is that like the Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns pairing just doesn't work. But like you take Brunson off, put Cat on, Brunson's numbers are around a +4. If you take Brunson, Cat's numbers are a +7. I totally messed that up. Basically, they're better with Cat on than Brunson off than they are with Brunson on than they are with Cat off. But I don't care. I would rather have Jalen Brunson 9 times out of 10 and twice on Sunday.
That stat was very, very heavily in favor of what you just. It was very much in that direction earlier in the year. I think that may be coming back towards equality too.
It's no longer as staggering. Now it's like +7 versus +4, but I like the one that, like, I'd rather have Brunson in my foxhole than Cat is an understatement at this point.
Yeah. All right. My kid's just gonna keep eating candy.
All right, Izzy, we don't allow eating into the mic, so we're gonna unfortunately sign you guys off. But John, do you have anything else to say before we go? Or Izzy, do you have anything else to say before we go?
Izzy, do you want to say anything into the microphone? You have to say it into there.
Izzy, are you excited that K-pop Demon Hunters got nominated for an Oscar?
I was actually listening. I had my the playing through my phone on the morning of the announcement, and we were driving her to school, and I looked back and I was like, "Oh, Izzy, guess what? They're about to say something about K-pop Demon Hunters," and then they announced that, and she could. I mean, to say that she could not care less would be an understatement.
Gotcha. What's her favorite song?
What's your favorite K-pop Demon Hunters song? Is it what? No, I know. No, Rumi is a character. What's the favorite? Character. What's your favorite song? Is it Golden? Is it Takedown? Is it Soda Pop?
What? I don't know.
She doesn't.
You don't know?
She doesn't like when I talk about this.
The correct answer is Free, because that's a bop, but it's all right. The one at the ballad where in like the third act, the beginning of the third act. It's a bop.
I think Soda Pop is a legendary pop song myself.
I think they're both kind of bops.
What did you pick?
What did I pick?
You just picked Soda Pop. Yeah.
I don't want you to pick mine.
You don't want me to pick yours.
You have to pick a new one, John.
Unfortunately, is your choice Soda Pop?
No.
No. Okay. Wait.
So then he didn't pick yours. Okay.
She's very.
You want me to sign off?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into another edition of this impromptu live stream. But thank you to Ian Begley for joining us. Please send all your well wishes to Ian, and thanks to him for coming on with us. If you dig the show, head over to iTunes or Spotify, leave a 5-star rating and a review. Please like this video. Remember to subscribe. Follow Knicks Film School at Nick Film SKOOL on all socials. If you get a DM from us asking to vote for us in a contest, don't. And then last but not least, we have bonus content on Patreon and on Substack. Check out Macri's newsletter or DJ and Benji's film sessions on Patreon. There will be content coming up tomorrow. No pregame pod, by the way. I just did one on Sacramento like 2 weeks ago. So no pregame pod going up tomorrow. There will be one for the Toronto game. And there will be something midday tomorrow Izzy's adorable. There will be a pod that drops about midday tomorrow. John sat down with Deuce McBride's train. No, that's what. Okay, you're all the way muted now. Hold on.
No, the Jerry Engelman, who wrote a great article. He used to work for the Suns, used to work for the Mavs, invented ESPN's Real Plus Minus. He wrote a great article for the Knicks Film School newsletter on how Deuce McBride is maybe the best Knick. And so I talked to him about that, and just about analytics. And it was a fascinating conversation. So that's dropping soon.
There you go. That'll drop midday on Tuesday. But until next time, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Let's go Knicks, and we'll speak with you soon. Peace. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See the Fanatics Sportsbook app.